வானாகி மண்ணாகி வழியாகி ஒளியாகி ஊனாகி உயிராகி உள்மையுமாய் இன்மையுமாய் கோனாகி யான் எனதென்றவரவரை கூத்தாட்டு வானாகி நின்றாயை என் சொல்லி வாழ்த்துவனே. கலைத்தந்தை வாழ்த்து. சித்தத்துள் சிவத்தை வைத்தார், செந்தமிழ்நாவில் வைத்தார், வித்தகம் தொழிலில் வைத்தார், வெறுப்பினை தொண்டில் வைத்தார், எத்திசை புகழும் வைத்தார், எண்ணிலார் வாழ வைத்தார், அத்தனாம் தியாகராசர் அண்ணலை கருத்துள் வைப்பார்.
I request our principal, Dr. P. Pandiraja, to welcome the gathering.
Good afternoon. Most respected Secretary of our college, Thiru K. Hari Tyagarajan, Dr. G. Ilangumaran, Director in Charge, EAC Hub and Convener, IIC, Alagappa University, Professor Sri Nanuswamy, Mrs. Nanuswamy, Dr. M. Jagan Mohan, Honorable Secretary, Madurai Productivity Council, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Dr. N.S. Murali Srinivasan, Polymer Technologist and Industrial Consultant, Dr. Kalyana Sundaram, TCE, learned faculty members, deans, heads of the departments. So good afternoon. I extend a warm welcome to our respected secretary, who is making all his chances to our opportunities. So this is one among them. I have seen him for the past 5 years. In all the chances he is facing, he is making all his chances as opportunities for the staffs and students of Tyagaraja College. I extend a heartfelt welcome to our respected secretary for this inauguration of Innovation Council, Institution Innovation Council of our college. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. G. Ilangumaran, who is the director in charge. So before this meeting, I had an interaction with him. He simply tell, sir, in my life, I am having close association with Chettiar group of institutions, because he worked in SPIC, then he worked in TSM, now he is working in Karaikudi Alagappa University. So now he is connecting with us through this Institution Innovation Council. On behalf of the college, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. G. Ilangumaran. Welcome, sir. So today we have a distinguished personality, Professor Nanuswamy. Sri Nanu has more than 30 years of deep tech industry experience. He has been instrumental in defining and delivering core innovative technology products at over 20 reputed international companies. He received the Presidential Award for the impact on education from former President of America, Barack Obama in 2013. On behalf of the college, I extend a warm welcome to Sri Nanuswamy. Welcome, sir. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. M. Jaganmohan Reddy, who is the Honorable Secretary of this Madurai Productivity Council, and illustrious alumnus of our TC, Theology Engineering. I extend a warm welcome you, sir. Our illustrious alumnus, Dr. N.S. Murali Sankaran, who did his PhD in our college, who has authored more than 24 books on polymer. And also, he is a consultant of many of the industries like Fenner, TVS. I extend a warm welcome to our illustrious alumnus, Dr. N.S. Murali Sankaran. And also, I welcome Dr. Kalyana Sundaram for this, Institution Innovation Council, inauguration. I extend a warm welcome to deans, heads of the departments, and also my dear learned faculty members. Dear friends, so actually, see in our college, see we have an innovation environment, innovation ecosystem in our college. So we have innovation in teaching learning process. So we have innovation in research. We have innovation in governance also. So during the NAC visit, the Department of BC and IT, they were developed an app called TOBE, an app for outcome-based education. The NAC committee appreciated the efforts of the students of Department of BC and IT. So not only that, so now they have developed a new apps for communication between the staff members, and also they have developed an app for meeting with the students. So the students of BC and IT are working innovatively to developing new apps. During this pandemic period, the Department of Chemistry, under the headship of Dr. Sai Kannan, they have manufactured sanitizer. They have provided to the college, entire college, and also the hostels also. So innovatively, with the correct proportionate, the students of chemistry innovatively manufactured the sanitizers and also provided to the college as well as to the hostel. And so we have a sewage treatment plant in our college. To treat the sewage treatment plant, the Department of Botany, under the headship of Dr. Kannan, they have developed an innovative idea to treat the sewage treatment water that is called bioremedial treatment. Now this technology has been accepted, invited by a company from US and also a company from India. And also last year alone, Dr. Dharmaraj has published 5 patents. You imagine that a faculty member within a 1 year able to publish 5 patents. So that type of innovations we are having in our college. So for this, so the management is supporting in all means, morally and also physically. The management is giving seed money to all the staff members, 10,000 rupees per year. Really, if you are interested, if you want money for that, you can submit your project, you can immediately get seed money from the management. And also, so the management is renovating the labs of physics and chemistry at a cost of 50 lakhs, almost in the completion stage. So management is extending almost all the supports to promote what you call this research as well as this innovation. A happy news for the research scholars. So yesterday, our secretary has approved management scholarship for research scholars. After 1 year of registration, having 1 publications in Scopus, Web of Science or UGC Index Journal, they will get a stipend of 8,000 rupees per year. 8,000 rupees per year. Then after 2nd year, having 2 more publications, they will be given 10,000 rupees per year for next 1 year. So this is the management scholarship. Secretary yesterday has approved this management scholarship for the research scholars. So that way, the management is promoting research as well as and also keeping this innovation ecosystem in our college. Dear friends, the college needs innovation. So how to manage our solid waste? How to manage our kitchen waste, mess waste? So, a lot of ideas we need, the college needs. Not only the college, our region, the Madurai city needs a lot of innovations. So, how to solve this air pollution? How to solve this traffic problems? So, a lot of issues in and around the Madurai city. So, the region needs many innovation. The country needs a lot of innovations. That is why the government of India has declared 2010 to 2020 as year of decade, innovation decade. So the country needs a lot of innovation. The country needs a lot of innovation. So now we are using a lot of technologies. We are using Google because of innovation. We are using all the technologies. So because of innovation. So the country needs innovation. So because of innovation, the young minds will start some startups. The startups will become MSME. Then that MSME becomes a company. So instead of getting job seekers, our students will become job providers. With these objectives, our college is starting this Innovative Institution Council. With these few words, once again, I welcome you all. With all your support and cooperations, our college Institution Innovation Council would fulfill all its objectives. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your warm welcome. Tyagarajar College Institution Innovation Council, TCIIC, is going to be a major event and a giant step taken by our management for the welfare of our students, staff, and the college. At this outset, it's my privilege to invite the most respected secretary of our college, Thiru K. Hari Tyagarajan, sir, to deliver the presidential address.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here this afternoon amongst distinguished guests, faculty members, and students who have assembled for the inauguration of the Tyagarajar College Institution Innovation Council, IIC, partnering along with the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. We have in our midst today a galaxy of people who have had a lot of experience in imparting entrepreneurship skills, imparting training based on entrepreneurship, investors and entrepreneurs themselves. I'm happy to welcome once again in our midst Professor Nanuswamy, President of the Maxillary Foundation, Madurai, Dr. Jagan Mogan, Secretary of the Madurai Productivity Council, and Dr. Murali Srinivasan, Polymer Technologist and Scientist, Dr. Ilangumaran, Director of Entrepreneurship and Innovation Cell, Alagappa Institute of Management, Mr. Kalyana Sundaram, Managing Director of Great Innovus, HOD and Principal. Friends, I think we are living in very challenging times. Hopefully, we will all come out of this pandemic much stronger and sooner than before. And schools and colleges have been welcoming students who have not been present for almost 1.5 years. I think now it is very nice to see the campus back to life. And hopefully, we will not have the middle row seats empty anymore, and we will see this auditorium to its full capacity very soon. The concept of innovation and entrepreneurship has been in India for many, many decades. Unfortunately, we think that a lot of the innovation which revolved around basic sciences, engineering, medicine, etc., happened after the British conquered us in the 1800s. And after the independence in 1947, it took a great deal of effort and time for the society to accept that Indians were capable enough to think and innovate. Our school systems, the people around us, the people who wrote our history books, all gave us a lot of knowledge about how the British conquered us, what was the role of the East India Company in India, who were all the great warriors from Britain who fought this independence. And along with that, we were taught about the contributions of some of the freedom fighters from our own country. But we were made to think that Indians were not good at making things, and we always borrowed ideas and concepts from the Western world. It is not so. I think if you go and read Indian history, when I say read Indian history, it is not the 7th standard and 8th standard history books, because they need, I think, a lot more rewriting to be done. But if you read the true Indian history, you will appreciate that we had one of the best institutions like the Nalanda and Takshashila, which are not existing anymore. But if you go and understand what were the contributions of those great institutes, what did Nalanda and Takshashila teach the students there? So many years back, right? So many decades back, even before the British had come, even before we had the Mughal invasion, so on and so forth. If you go back to our Vedic times, or if you go back to our Sangam times, we understand that very close by to our college is where the Keeladi site is getting excavated. After 6 rounds of excavation, now they have undergone, I think, with the 7th round. And we see there that there was a township which existed those days, which had proper system and proper planning for, water, drainage, how they would deal with somebody who is dead, what they will do with the dead body, and what did women wear as ornaments. It was all, of course, earthen products. It was all mud. But now we are able to predate and understand that our, history and innovation is not only about creating apps. Innovation is not about just virtual reality or, machine learning. That's what the millennials today are thinking. Innovation in each, phase of time is different. And you should understand that India has been a land of innovation. India has been a land where a lot of new things were created. We have great texts like the Arthashastra. Management concepts in Arthashastra today are being quoted in the Harvard Business School, in the Harvard Business Reviews as management principles. One basic principle that some management students here might recall, I think here we have more of teachers, is that in the transactional world of business, if you do not want any loss or if you do not want to lose, make sure the person who you're dealing with also should not lose. This is a principle today that we are learning in principles of management. But this concept was there in Arthashastra. It was there during Chanakya's period. I don't know how many centuries or decades before that is. The invention of zero happened here. They say the invention of pi, the Pythagoras theorem. Everything was invented by people here, and unfortunately we are being now asked to import these ideas with some foreign names. Especially, I think when Max Muller came, the whole thing was colonialized. But India has always been a land of innovation, and if you look at medicine, we have had a great school of philosophy, which is Ayurveda, which came out of our country. And today, the Western world is talking about medicines like Ashwagandha, which many people have taken during the COVID times. Now companies like Himalaya, there's so many companies now which are packaging it and are able to export it. But all this was hidden for a very long time, and today it is all coming out. The system of yoga in Chinese, belief, they have Feng Shui. we have something, much better than Feng Shui, much well proven, which is the Vastu or the Manayadi Shastram, as they call it in Tamil. So Indians have always been great innovators. They have, written world-renowned books of philosophy, engineering, management, medicine, so on and so forth. But whatever little was, created, I think was camouflaged by the British when they came here, and we were all made to believe that the roads and railways was all invented by the British. I'm sure that they were able to make use of technology in a rapid fashion, much better than us. But after we attained independence and after India came out of the clutches of the colony world, I think that's when we started realizing of our own potential. And that's what our Prime Minister calls Atmanirbhar Bharat. We have to be self-sufficient and we have to make for India, made for the world, but made in India. But where we lacked, I think, much later, in the 70s and 80s, when industrialization was happening, India was still a very closed economy. In 1994-95 is when the economy opened up. Until then, we were under the clutches of the license Raj. So though people had a lot of gray matter inside their heads, they were not able to leverage it because there was so much of red tapeism and there was so many hurdles to start a new business. So people just wanted to get employed in government companies, or we were exporting so many millions of engineers. We still do. We export engineers or export software skilled people to the US. So that trend is now slowly changing, and India is now being seen as a very lucrative place after China, and especially this COVID has given this India plus one strategy where a lot of investors are looking at India and are coming here to invest. So the point of having this session today is that the faculty should drive home the fact that there are opportunities in entrepreneurship, and students should consider entrepreneurship as one of the options for their careers. And it is these small ideas which will eventually become game changers. And the concept of Swiggy and Zomato was not there, I think maybe 5 or 10 years back, but today it has caught up so virally, and we all think that they are just burning cash, but it is not so. They are burning cash to acquire market share, and eventually when they eat up all the small fish in the pond, they will be the giants in few years time. And today these delivery companies are making a margin of about 25% in one food order that you have. So next time you try to go to Adayar Ananda Bhavan or wherever and you eat there, you see what is the cost, what is the bill that you get. And next day you come home and you order the same food to your house, you see what is the markup. So they're just making you more convenient sitting at home and ordering, but somebody is making money on that idea. And it is not a very great idea according to me. Somebody is making the food, and this is just courier service or postman service. Do you think that a postman's job is something very fancy, or a courier guy who comes and delivers courier to a house? We don't think that that is a great job. But when it is decorated or packaged under the branding of Swiggy and Zomato, we think this is a very great idea. And why didn't anybody think about this 20 years back? Why was everybody going to the restaurant and hotel and eating? We can just sit in our home and wear whatever clothes we like and keep watching a TV or do whatever and eat in a very convenient way. So I'm sure if somebody is willing to go in for IPO and buy the shares of these companies, the students here, I'm sure, can, with whatever they are learning here and with all the other problems, as principal mentioned, around you in this environment, I'm sure you can come up with much brighter ideas. And today I think the money is chasing ideas. You don't have to chase anybody for investing. If the idea is good, then automatically people come to invest in you. So there is some interesting startup information which I would like to share from a recent research, which says that India is the world's third largest startup ecosystem. I think ahead us would be Israel and US, if I'm not wrong. Israel has a very vibrant startup culture. A lot of the next generation ideas are coming out of Israel. Israel is such a small country, and they do not even have enough, water to support their needs. But today, Israel is doing a great job in terms of innovation. So India is the world number 3 when it comes to having a large startup ecosystem. And the value that we have created in the recent years is about $315 billion. According to the Department of Industry and Trade Promotion, 55,716 startups have been recognized by the DPIIT. $83 billion of funding have come into startups. $83 billion of funding come into startups from the year 2014 to 21. The number of jobs that startups have created is 5,49,000. It is very, very minuscule in number compared to our population, but I'm sure we are slowly growing. The number of unicorns, like Zomato, the number of unicorns, which are a few $billion, 4 unicorns have taken the IPO route, which means they're listed in the stock market. And there are totally 69 unicorns in India so far. And out of the 69 unicorns, the statistics is very interesting to see that 34, so almost 50% of the 69 unicorns have been added in the last 20 months, which means all these companies have graduated and become unicorns during the time of this COVID, when the economy was suffering. There are a number of initiatives by the government to encourage entrepreneurship. But principal just today was telling us that funding has been suspended for most of these schemes. Hopefully they will resume soon, or they will clear the backlogs very soon. But there are many schemes like the Software Technology Park, the Multiplier Grant Scheme, the Mudra banks, which the government has specially put for supporting entrepreneurship. The Atal Innovation Mission, which is something that's really taken off in schools, is also a government system to support startups. And according to our Prime Minister, he says that startups are showing self-confidence. Several unicorns are becoming the image of the nation. 5 to 8 years ago, India might have had just 3 to 4 unicorns. Today, there are about 60 unicorns in India. And out of these 60, 21 have been developed in the last few years. So I'm sure with many opportunities coming, like Industry 4.0 and digitalization, which is going to be the way forward, a lot of IT companies have again come back to start recruiting from our campus. It may not be too good from a startup point of view, but at least students are getting jobs. Companies like Zoho have again resumed, and they're not just resumed campus placements, but they're taking large number of students, because IT companies, I believe, need at least to double the amount of human resource that they have now in the next 10 years, so that this digitalization sector which they have in mind, or theme that they have in mind, more companies will have to become digitalized soon. Other areas where there are immense opportunities include water, waste to worth, converting waste and making money out of that, space and defense, smart cities, SaaS, renewable energy, Industry 4.0, industry safety, healthcare, gaming and esports, future mobility. We already see that we have 2 or 3 brands of electric vehicles, electric bikes that have come in, and this may be the future, considering that petrol prices and diesel prices have already crossed 110 rupees. It may, what the government is trying to tell us, by default, is that you have to move to electric vehicles, because this cost of diesel and petrol is so high in India that it may not be possible to go on with running petrol vehicles. So people will think that it is completely unaffordable, the mileage is very poor, and they will automatically move on to EVs. Fintech is another area, education, e-commerce, deep tech, blockchain, artificial intelligence, agri and food processing, and last, there are opportunities even in arts and crafts. Today there is something called non-fungible tokens, NFTs, where somebody can draw something and put it for sale, and it can go viral. There may be so many likes on Instagram or whatever page, and people will start bidding for it. It may even fetch you something more than a Mona Lisa painting. That is how the world is changing today. So I would like to once again I think appreciate everybody here for taking time off and understanding what this innovation cell is. But you will have to go back to the roots, encourage students. Even if it is handful of students, I think they need to be identified and made to be active in this cell. And even one or two ideas, if we get, I'm sure that all of us here are willing to support. There is a new incubation setup coming in Madurai. That's why we invited Professor Nanuswamy here. So, capital is not the issue, but if it is the right idea and it pays back investors good returns, I'm sure people will come after you to invest. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for those strong words to put forward the vision of TCIIC. It's time to honor our guest with loving memento. I request respected Secretary Sir to give away the memento to Dr. G. Ilankumaran and Professor Nanuswamy. Please put your hands together to Dr. G. Ilankumaran, Director in charge of EIC Hub and Convener of IIC Alagappa University. Thank you, sir. Once again for Professor Nanuswamy, President of Maxcelerator Foundation, Madurai. Thank you, sir. I request our principal to present the memento to Dr. M. Jagan Mogan, Honorable Secretary of Madurai Productivity Council. Next, I request Kalyanasundaram sir, TC, to give away the memento to Dr. N.S. Murali Srinivasan, Polymer Technologist and Industrial Consultant, Madurai. Thank you, dignitaries. Moving on to the core event of the day, we are specially honored to have a great academician, Dr. G. Ilankumaran, Director in charge of EIC Hub, Convener of IIC ALU Alagappa University, Institute of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Career Hub, Karaikudi. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together in welcoming Dr. G. Ilankumaran to present the inaugural address.
Most respected Secretary of this great institution, Shri Hari Tyagarajan, most respected Principal of the Tyagarajar College of Arts, most respected Professor Nanuswamy from the Maxcelerator Foundation, and Madam Nanuswamy from the same foundation, and Dr. Jagan Mogan of Madurai Productivity Council, Dr. Murali Srinivasan, an eminent polymer scientist, and respected Professor Kalyanasundaram from Tyagarajar College of Engineering, respected deans, heads of the departments, faculty members, and student members of Tyagarajar College of Arts. It gives me immense pleasure to stand before you and share a few of my thoughts and ideas and my experiences with this Institution Innovation Council. There are a few points I would like to show you in the slide so that the faculty members will understand the importance of involving yourself in the noble activity of IIC. So the current situation of our country, particularly the higher education system, our secretary has highlighted where we are, but I would like to present you with few more statistics. In the Global Innovation Index, we are 46th, and in the 68th place in Global Entrepreneurship Index. That means, India is still in the growing stage. We are way behind countries like Switzerland, US, and Japan. But as already told by the Secretary, India is full of ideas, innovations. Even in the patent regime, our country is known for getting process patents, but in product patents, we are still improving. And the ideas which are available freely in the country are not brought into the mainstream. That is where the Institution Innovation Council, with the support of the central government as well as state government, and with the inspiring NGOs like Maxcelerator Foundation, they come into play. Mainstreaming ideas, making the ideas into workable propositions, and handhold the young minds to convert them into enterprises. That is what is the prime motto with which the Institution Innovation Council is being inaugurated today. This is a pictorial representation of our current situation. May not be visible to the people sitting at the back, but the PowerPoint presentation is already available with my good friend Dr. Tillarajan of Business Administration. You can collect it. And this particular pictorial representation says the weak links, the weak areas in our country. Particularly, we are facing competition. That is the most driving force, because we need to win over the competition. But the weak area for us is how do we actually develop our startup skill, and how do we internationalize? Because of the invent of ICT and the digital revolution that we are currently experiencing, the startup ventures needs to think of international markets. That is where actually we need support. And the different kinds of agencies, not only from government but also from NGOs and from the corporate world and the CSR, they are now coming forward to help young minds, particularly from the rural regions. That is what is actually going to be the key in the future. And this is again a graph of what I've already presented. And innovation and entrepreneurial spirit, which is lacking. Why it is lacking? Because our people have been grown with the mindset that they should go and get settled with a decent job. If you ask any student what's your aim, either in their first year or second year, they will say, I want to get a good job. If you ask him what is a good job, they will not be able to explain it. And they will say, good company. And if you ask them what is a good company, they will not be able to explain. That means, they are ignorant. And it is the responsibility of faculty members, teachers like us, to motivate, encourage them to develop an innovative as well as entrepreneurial mindset. Today it is happening mainly because of the initiatives of the Ministry of Education. And Ministry of Education has set up, Ministry of Education of Government of India set up a cell called Innovation Cell. That is called Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. In short form, it is called MIC. Okay, in future, very soon you will hear the terms MIC quite often. The Institution Innovation Council comes under MIC. And the Institution Innovation Council of MIC is managed by AICTE. So AICTE has been concentrating on technical institutions, engineering colleges, polytechnics and ITIs. But of late, in the last couple of years, this has been extended to arts and science stream also. And surprisingly, a better output has come from arts and science institutions across the country in response to the call by Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. So Alagappa University is one such example, though we were actually funded under RUSA scheme generously. And of late, we have joined the IIC also, because not only for funding support, but for all kinds of other supports to help the students of our institutions grow faster. So, in higher education institutions, what is the most important factor that we need to keep in mind? Most important factor that we need to keep in mind is how do we actually encourage an atmosphere that is conducive for the students to come out with their ideas. That is where actually we need to play a role. And that role is going to be a pivotal role, or I would say it's a catalytic role. And for playing such a catalytic role, we don't need expertise in the particular technology. A word of encouragement and connecting and linking the particular students with appropriate agencies for handholding or technical support. That is very, very important. That is where the Institution Innovation Council is going to play a major role. So, countries like Switzerland, which is very popular in terms of innovation development as well as entrepreneurial development, followed by United States and Japan, they all have this system, catch them young from the schools. That is why, the Atal Innovation Mission, particularly the Atal Tinkering Labs, targets schools, developing interest among the students in the schools. And for that, we need infrastructure. And the Atal Tinkering Lab provides opportunities for developing technology infrastructure in the schools. Probably Tyagarajar College of Arts can also go for establishing an Atal Tinkering Lab. I don't know whether Tyagaraja Engineering College has already got it. And another important thing is all these activities or promotional activities of the governments converge at one point, wherein the teachers needs to be a change agent, and we need to develop a mindset that teaching inside the classroom is not enough. We need to look at the students' inherent talents, encourage them to come out with their ideas. That is what is very, very essential for higher education institutions. And the dimension of higher education institution previously used to be teaching, education, research, extension activities. And today, it is moving towards teaching, research, extension, finally, innovation and entrepreneurship. Because the teachers also need to learn from the innovative ideas of the students. So this is actually a dynamic process, a process of continuous learning, where the teachers or the mentors, along with the students, learn new things. It's a fantastic opportunity for all of us, wherein we will be able to. Because I will tell you a small example. I am basically an agriculture graduate, and then I did my masters in business management from again Agriculture University, and I'm attached to School of Management. But after taking over charge of Alagappa Institute of Skill Development, and there the students came with one idea of a solution for the pandemic, and they told me that the what do you call UVC, ultraviolet ray based disinfectant. Normally, the UV rays, UV bulbs are used in water purifiers, particularly industrial water purifiers. And they said UVC is available openly in the market. We'll have to buy them and make some modifications and then fit them in the air conditioners, so that when the air gets circulated through the air conditioner, any kind of virus or bacteria will get deactivated, not killed, deactivated. And that idea was initially I was not able to comprehend, but it sounds interesting. And we took it up with the scientists of the university. They said that's a good idea, and we developed indigenously UVC based air purifier which can be built into the air conditioners in the rooms. So immediately we started installing them in all the buildings, classrooms, offices of Alagappa University, and that got a very wide attention in the press and media. Very small idea, but it came from the students, number one. Number two, another group of unemployed students, they approached us and they said that we wanted to develop a prototype, a disinfectant which can be sensor based disinfectant which can be fit into the commodes of toilets. Toilet is the place where you will find millions of infectants, virus, bacteria, and all those things. And to solve this problem, whatever disinfectant for toilet commodes which is available in the market, which is in the form of soap cake or in the form of a liquid, which you put it in the commode, 2 or 3 flushes, it is gone. But now this is sensor based and which can be small in size, fit into the commodes of the toilets, which will release maybe 5 ml of disinfectant in every flush. A small idea. And it was developed using the CNC machine available in our university, and the prototype has received wider acceptance. And now we are going for, filing for patents. So these are ideas came from students. And once the student comes with such an idea, that is where actually we need to create an ecosystem where the idea can be put into practice. It doesn't cost much money. So that is very, very important. That is what is the message I just want to leave it to you, all the faculty members. And the advantages of innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem is you must have read in the newspapers about the human role of IIT Madras Research Park as well as IIT Madras Incubator. And luckily today you have got Professor Nanuswamy and Madam Nanuswamy, who have established IIT Madras incubator. Accelerator is actually getting collaborated with IIT Madras. That's a great opportunity for all Maduraites. Like that, our Tyagarajar College of Arts can also set up your own incubation center, for which generous funding are available both from the central government as well as from the state government. From the state government, there is an institute called EDII, Entrepreneurship Development Innovation Institute. EDII, Entrepreneurship Development Innovation. It is an autonomous body of government of Tamil Nadu. And fortunately, Tyagarajar College of Engineering is the hub. Like what we have in Alagappa University, we are the hub for colleges, polytechnics, engineering colleges, ITIs, all put together in the region of Suganga, Ramnadan, part of Pudukkottai district. Whereas Tyagarajar College of Engineering is having a hub, which is also doing wonderful service. They operate under hub and spoke model. That means hub is a facilitating center. The schemes, programs, funds from the TDII will be routed through the hub to the institutions. That means, though we are an arts and science institution, we also have engineering colleges, polytechnics, and currently the government's focus is on ITIs, because they are the people who are on missions doing things, and a lot of ideas of people with ITI qualification are left unnoticed. Okay, and the government of Tamil Nadu has recently launched one scheme called 1 Million Ideas scheme. 1 Million Ideas is a fantastic scheme where ideas from students are welcome, and that ideas have to be registered in the EDA portal with the help of ED cell coordinator as well as through the hub. And ideas which are interesting, which are novel, that will be shortlisted, taken to the next level. Like that, there are different levels of moving forward, and finally the best ideas will get rewarded, monetary reward. But it doesn't stop there. Then for the award winners, the government supports them to set up their enterprises through EDII and the hub. This is a wonderful thing. Last year, EDII launched a scheme called TNSI, Tamil Nadu Student Innovators Program, wherein students in large number have participated. But the sad thing is the participation was more from the western part of Tamil Nadu, particularly from Dharmaburi and Krishnagiri district, and the prize winners were also mainly from those districts. But from south, 2 students, one from Tirunelveli and another one from South Tamil Nadu, they also got the Tamil Nadu Student Innovator Award, and they are now being supported by the government for setting up their enterprises. I'm just giving you an example. So these are from the initiatives from the government of Tamil Nadu. 1 Million Ideas is now launched very recently, and it is available. All the details are available in the portal of EDII. And another good news for all of us is MSME. MSME has got a branch in Madurai, which is called MSME Institute. Actually, one popular institute is there in Chennai, but the Madurai MSME branch is having ambitious plan of helping out all higher education institutions in South Tamil Nadu, and they are now open. They've already approached us, Alagappa University's entrepreneurship hub, and we are going to collaborate with MSME for taking the innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem to the next level. So this is again another opportunity. And the innovative ecosystem is actually multifold. It is like a interactive circle: government, higher education institutions, corporate entities, NGOs, industry associations. So wherever possible, the institutions, higher education institutions, need to get a link, develop a link, a network, and connect the ideas with the appropriate agencies, either government or NGO or corporate body. Many big corporate bodies are now willing to support higher education institutions under their CSR activity. One such activity is HDFC Bank's Parivartan scheme. HDFC Bank's Parivartan scheme is launched through ICT Academy of Tamil Nadu. I don't know whether Tyagarajar College has got an MOU with ICT Academy. But ICT Academy of late has been doing Herman service not only to technical institutions but also to arts and science colleges, not only by organizing FDPs, student development programs, but also supporting entrepreneurial ventures. And HDFC's Parivartan scheme, very sadly, they targeted 1,000 entrepreneurs to be supported for setting their enterprises, but they have not reached the number. It is free, totally free. ICT Academy offers training to the students online for 8 years, totally free. And then there will be a hackathon, a competition, and whoever comes successful in the competition, they will be taken to the next level of handholding, then project plan preparation, then they will be connected to banks for funding, not only to banks but also to some of the corporate companies for funding. But though even it is offered free, they were not able to reach the number. So now ICT Academy has again called for fresh applications from the students. Whoever is interested in venturing into entrepreneurship, they can simply apply. Nothing is going to be taken out from their pocket and pay. They offer fantastic training by leaders. So this is again, I'm telling you an example of CSR by corporate bodies. CSR corporate, maybe we have difficulty in identifying which company will be interested to do this under CSR. But we have got institutions and agencies like ICT Academy. We may think that ICT Academy is only for computer science, software. No, they are into entrepreneurship also. And this is an entrepreneurial ecosystem. I don't want to dwell much into it. So this is a very important message. I just want to make it. The building institutional innovation entrepreneurial ecosystem. We need to nurture 3 N's: nurture the student initiatives, student cells, innovation cells, student members in the innovation cells, and then faculty franchise. What I mean by franchise? Franchise is an industry term, but faculty franchise in the sense faculty needs to identify the strong areas and develop themselves as a mentor. And once they become a mentor, then they become an authority, and the students will automatically go to him and put forth their ideas, refine it, and then take it to the next level. That is the faculty franchise. Say, for example, in Alagappa University, we have got a physics professor who is so passionate about developing prototypes. Okay, so today we don't actually only involve our students. Our hub is open for general public also. Unemployed engineering graduates, whoever comes to us, we will immediately say, you can come to our center anytime. We will provide you with necessary facilities. They will sit in the system, take some help, and once they develop an idea, we will put it, forward them to the physics professor, and then he will refine it and make them work on it and develop a prototype. That is what is going on now. So that is called faculty franchise. Then I&A ambassadors, innovation ambassadors. The Institution Innovation Council will run programs for faculty members, innovation ambassador training. There are two levels. One is basic level, second one is advanced level. Many professors of Tyagarajar College of Engineering, they have already underwent the innovation ambassador training program, very interesting program. And when such call for is made, please don't hesitate, immediately apply for it, voluntarily opt for it, because it is going to be the in thing in the future. Higher education is no more teaching inside the classroom. With the advent of new education policy coming into play, leave alone the political fiasco, but we can't escape from it. The entire world is moving towards that. So no more teaching, no more preaching, helping students to develop enterprises. And surprisingly, there are schemes available for faculty startup. Faculty members can also go for setting up of their own enterprise, faculty startup. We have actually made an initiative last year to launch a scheme for faculty members exclusively, faculty startup. Many of the professors working in so-called Western countries and many of the professors working in IITs in India, they invariably, one way or other, associated with startups. Some of them were initially originated from the professors, okay, incubated and then given it out to somebody else. Like that, it's going to happen across the country very soon. And the second one is called network. Networking is Institution Innovation Council need not do everything on its own. If you are able to develop a proper network, then things will fall in place. I told you, you need to network with institutions like EDII, Entrepreneurship Development Innovation Institute of Tamil Nadu. And I would tell you, there is an EDI, central government funded EDI in Ahmedabad, that is called Entrepreneurship Development Institute. They are looking for partner institutions in South India. And they have approached us to become a nodal center for EDI Ahmedabad. But we said no, because we already have EDI Tamil Nadu, conflict of interest will come. They are looking for institutions. Just an email to the director of EDI, that's it. It will be a click. And they have got schemes, funds, student support programs, all those things. Many of the funds being allocated for those activities are underutilized. That is what we need to actually work on it. And ICT Academy, MSME, I told you, Madurai branch. Then Young Indians, our respected secretary is already associated with the CII as well as Young Indians also. So Young Indians is again another important sector skill councils, electronic sector skill councils. So many sector skill councils are there. We can network with them. And the ecosystem of institutions cannot be developed overnight, but it can be developed only with preparedness of the students as well as preparedness of the faculty members. So please keep it in mind that this is the future of not only the students but also of our country. So that is why we are also paying a lot of attention in building our Institution Innovation Council and taking up various activities and doing it and getting rankings, because the Institution Innovation Council is a compulsory thing for getting a ranking in Atal innovation area. It's called Atal Institution Innovation Ranking, and that has become compulsory. But please don't take it, we are doing it only because of the mandatory requirement, but it is definitely going to build the country and build the future of our own students. So I would like to stop with this and thank the Tyagarajar College of Arts for giving me this opportunity. And anytime with regard to IIC, I'm available to offer my help or suggestions. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, sir, for those valuable comments. I'm delighted to invite Professor Nanu Sami to President of Masslerated Foundation to felicitate the gathering.
Actually, good afternoon, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to be here on this August occasion. Having an innovation cell in Madurai is like a really wonderful opportunity for everyone here to innovate. So, a quick intro about what we're doing in Madurai. So, after 30 years in the US, we've moved to Madurai. So, we found that talent in Madurai is ubiquitous. A lot of students are very smart, some of them have communication problems. But over the last 2 years, we've seen so many wonderful students, so many wonderful projects. So we've set up an incubation cell in Madurai, which will work with all the incubation cells that are there around the whole, city, nearby everywhere. So we look forward to actually spending a lot of time with the incubation cell at the college here. There are lots of wonderful opportunities for innovation, and I just want to kind of quickly tell you that innovation is something that crosses boundaries. You got to kind of throw away the thought that I'm a biology major or I'm a physics major, because a lot of the innovation is across boundaries. So the highest skill that is needed around the world is for people who are biology majors and who have a mathematics background. So this kind of skill set is what the country needs, the world needs. So this is kind of like, something like heresy, because traditionally in India and around the world, biology is on the left side, mathematics is on the right side. So we need an infusion of people across different disciplines. Throw away the concept that this is my discipline, and I think a lot of innovation can happen. And we at Maxcelerator are here to democratize a lot of skills that are required. I'll just quickly tell you one good example. The company that I worked for in the US, which makes millions of dollars on databases, the key person was a botany major. It is, if you think about it, in India, it's impossible for a botany major to be a head of a database company, the world's largest database, SAP. I've got numerous examples like this where innovation is, not you're not compartmentalized into one particular slot. So we have a person from Madurai who was working with us. So he came one day, joined us, and then a mechanical engineer. I asked him, do you know Python? Immediately he said, sir, and the palm enakku theriyum, sir. Believe it or not, after 6 months with us, he's doing his master's in computer engineering in Colorado. So transformation is accessible to everybody, and we'd like to have some webinar of some kind where we can talk to all of you in more detail about all the activities that we are doing in Madurai to democratize lots of different technologies. And I'd like to thank all the people who've gathered here for coming, and especially Dr. Pandya Raja, Thiru K. Hari, and the esteemed team on the dais, Dr. Ilan Kumaran, Dr. Jagan Mohan, Dr. N.S. Murali Srinivasan, and Dr. Sai. Thank you so much.
Next, I would like to invite Jagan Mohan, Honorable Secretary of Madurai Productivity Council.
Very good afternoon to one and all dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I take only a few minutes. It's lunchtime. I know the pressure built in. From Madurai Productivity Council, we are into a newer process of creating how to give a solution to the productivity issue pertaining to the Madurai district. So we are into it. In that score, we'll collaborate with the Aradhi College of Arts, and we'll see that any necessary help in terms of the Innovation Council, what it demands, definitely it will be given. The immediate help will be rendered from Madurai Productivity Council. Then one assurance I am giving. So that is the one thing from the institution from where I am. So if I am here, if at all I get an answer from I am what I am, it is only because of Aradhi College of Engineering. So I am the batch of 7782. I was the first batch of EC of TC. So prior to that, there was no easy. Of course, I was fortunate enough to say yes to undergo a study of engineering in the TCE, and from 77, 82, then I did my ME with communication system again from TCE. I'm continuing my doctorate here, then medical image processing in brain tumors. I am working on brain tumors. This is where my entire career academic profile is shaped and groomed by Tyagaraja College of Engineering, the forefathers of Mr. Hari. And I must thank, I'm utilizing this platform to thank the forefathers of Hari. And now that the human service rendered by Hari has to be, no, it is, I understand, A++ is not an easy joke. Tyagaraja College of Arts has got it. You take the pride. Of course, this is the only institution from Madurai which has secured A++ in NAC, and furthermore, laurels have to be brought inside for anything and everything, and we'll be with you. So, regarding innovation, so right from Madurai, there is one innovation. I just want to quote one thing. With that, I'll just close my speech. The most vital area which needs attention is the female during the pregnancy period. They were left uncared during 1800. I understand from even from Europe there is a block death, and much of the people were dead during there are much of casualties in the period of the pregnancy, and they were uncared. And it was found that out of the decade the research, it was found that it is out of the uncleanliness, and it was the case was such, so it was brought to the practice like that. In Madurai, from Madurai, two young boys from engineering colleges, and they were into, they had B2, and they invented a product by name Save Mom. Now you can go to Google and search, and you can get the information about what is Save Mom, SAVEMOM. And they developed an IoT based product as a wearable beats in the pregnancy women, and they are monitored closely from the remote place. And it was tested in the hilly terrain of Kerala, and the first baby with the fully monitored IoT, the Save Mom, the girl gave birth in the hilly terrain of Kerala, and everybody who were around her, and they were very laughing when we were to. Why? Actually, we keep asking, why it is so. This is the first girl, the first baby in our place with this much of weight. So this kind of innovation, it received a best startup award from German. This is a kind of innovation is happening not from the abroad, not from US, not from Japan. It is from our own city. The charm of Madurai was lost earlier. Full of Chettiar community into the trade wing of the mills, the Visalachi mills, Meenachi mills. All along we were depending on those mills and RV mill, and once they withdrew, the charm of industrialization was lost. So it is a time to reinvent, and actually we have to bring back the paradise of Madurai back to Madurai. See that this innovation cell, if it works on it, giving solutions only to local issues. You find out the local community, what are the industrial solutions, industrial issues, and community issues. You just identify, go for a problem statement, give solution. The innovation cell, if it is capable of giving any small, that will be the greater use to the growth of economy and for the betterment of Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and India as a whole. Anyhow, it is a red letter day. It's an epoch-making event in the annals, the history of Tyagaraja College of Arts. I wish this council should grow to a newer heights. See that it reaching the highest peak of the India as a whole. I wish you all the best. I pray Goddess Meenachi, the ruling deity of Madurai, to shower upon her choicest blessings in all your endeavor. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable comments. May I now request Dr. N.S. Murali Srinivasan, Polymer Technologist and Industrial Consultant, Madurai, one of our proud alumnus of our college, to felicitate the occasion.
See, I respect here all people because once I was a student, now I am a polymer technologist. So the phase change will be there based on Tyagaraja Kirtana. Entanu Mahanubhavalu, Antarki Vandanamu. I pray all the people, I respect all the people. Okay. Generally. Because I wanted to be a Dhritarashtra, my opponent will be a Sanjayan. Sanjayan, he used to give all innovative ideas to me. So the blind person can start to create after that, because we have to keep blind before we are hearing all the things. See, I wanted to give all my innovative ideas here, but being the time is very limited, I can give some tips of the thing. Basically, whenever I do experiment, I used to my body will be as an experimental element. See, I used to have 10 days fasting, no food, no water, no nothing, no talk, no job, no cell phone, nothing. Nothing I will see, just to close the eye for 10 days. Tomorrow onwards, the things will start because I wasted my energy so far. So I regained the energy to create a new neuron in my mind. So I went to Nataraja temple. I stayed there for 10 days. I become a very old man. This practically, I think, how the Manika Vasagar went in the air, how it had gone to Nataraja. Then I tried, but become energetically very less. I can't see. I become blind. I didn't hear. It happened. Then how to regain the energy? As secretary says, Astakanta, ginseng, all nearly helps. Chinese herb books are 7 volumes available. Today, proceedings of computer had gone to 2,850 proceedings had gone. And chemistry, it had gone for only hundreds. So how the growth, innovation, where it innovate, everything, because innovation required. Without innovation, see, yesterday I had a packet computer of 2 KB. Today it becomes GBs, terabytes. Even in my home, I am having 17 TB of books, total books collected. And if I as a student, you will have only basic knowledge. From the base, they can give only basic knowledge. Then we have to develop our knowledge. If you give a component, this component, I synthesize myself. Because I had a small laboratory in my home, but the laboratory I closed because of a lot of licenses we get. We have to have a space. I don't have a space. So I used to put up in board how can we synthesize the product, how we do all these things, innovation and other thing in our life. So I put all the things. So best conductor, I come to know gold is a best 99.99% gold, Nataraja. So from there, my iron is attracting the iron from my body. So without iron, we cannot give. So I become very old. Now I am talking to you. Before 5 years, I cannot stand also for about 6 months. Then regain the energy. And now I become energetic. Tomorrow I start my fasting. I'll go. These are all just myself. I put up experiment in the body in the experiment. So it happens. Our saints had been gone to the heaven level. They identified Mars, Moon, everything based on this only. They close the eye and creative things will come. Our neuron regeneration will take place. So I can put all my innovative ideas. One day I will get opportunity. I'll get an opportunity to put on my innovative ideas. So it may be helpful because in February 22nd, I am going to give a presentation in Vienna University by web. Because they selected me this year. 174 people are selected in a year. It's a management department. They selected me. February 22nd is my day where the climate crisis, I'm talking about climate crisis, they will send question on polymer. So how to deteriorate the polymer? Today polymer is a very big, huge demon. You cannot eliminate from the earth. It will be in the earth and it will become microplastic. So next time, if I get an opportunity, I'll put up my ideas. I stop here because the time is very stringent. Thank you all.
Thank you for those strong words of support, sir. Next, I invite Kalyana Sundaram, sir, alumni of TCE, Managing Director of Great Innovus Solution Private Limited, to share a few words.
So good afternoon, everyone. So I know I'm standing in between you and lunch. So thanks first of all, Hari Pandiraja sir and others for inviting me to this occasion, and wishing the Institution of Innovation Council a very successful launch, and looking forward to more innovations coming in the future as well. So just few words alone, like innovation is one thing that actually has driven the mankind to what we are today. because like if you take the history of mankind, like 2 lakh years, okay, so in this 2 lakh years, man has been in the bottom of the food chain and he has grown today to. This has happened just because we have been innovating over the period of time, and majority of the innovations have happened in the last 5,000 years. And particularly if you look at the last 400 to 500 years, like industrialization and the last 50 years of digital revolution, all these things have taken us to a different scale of I think. And today we are exploring about traveling to Mars. Okay, so and exploring, I mean, intergalactic travel and other things are becoming possible just because of innovation. And just to highlight, like innovation is one thing that actually drives the world, and Tyagaraja institutes have been very helpful, helping innovative people. Okay, so particularly like TC has been really helpful, and my company is located very next to TC, kind of like, I mean, opposite to TC, in fact, I would say. So we had a lot of collaborations between the institute, and TC has innovation cell, and also they have TBI, which is actually supporting all the industries to come up and get started. And there are a lot of student startups that is happening very recently, and I've had an opportunity to mentor a few startups, and they have come up with really innovative ideas, and with the support of the such innovation councils, that will take to a different scale is what I believe so. And there are only two conservations that I would like to point up, which as a innovation council, like you need to factor and address them. First is the fixed mindset that the students are having. So they don't have the mindset to grow, and they don't have the mindset to overcome failure. So if they fail, like they think that the life was ended over there and they don't have a future opportunity. But now the industry is completely changing. They embrace failure. Okay, so that is where the industry is heading to. And Hari mentioned about Israel being the number one country for innovation. So if you look at Israel, like if you go to a job, you're seen as a second grade a graduate. So I mean, if you start your own company, that's where you get your complete respect in the industry and society. So that is how the country treats the person or the students. So they look up entrepreneurship as a career option. Okay, that's the first career option. Okay, so getting employed is a second career option when they fail or they don't get a innovative idea to solve a particular problem, kind of. Okay, so cultivating growth mindset is one thing, and overcoming failure is again that should be cultivated in the students. And second major hurdle in India, and particularly the southern districts, is students don't have. I mean, the parents, they see students as a liability. They have invested some money in their education, and they need an immediate return. Okay, so that is one mindset that needs to be changed. And my small request to the Institution of Innovation Council is like orient the parents also. If you see some students coming with some innovative idea, orient their parents to encourage taking up entrepreneurship as a career option. Then, like, I mean, because like the students will not be able to convince his parents, and they need to know that they are getting support. And if this grows, it becomes a different ball game, something that the students as well as the parents needs to realize. So with this, I would like to end my speech, and again, like wishing a very good luck to the Institution of Innovation Council. Thank you.
Good afternoon. The most respected Secretary, Sri Hari Tyagarajan sir, respected Principal of our college, our most valued, respectful guests, faculty members, research scholars, and dear students, good afternoon once again. I deem it a great privilege to have an entrusted with this opportunity to extend the vote of thanks on this milestone occasion in the history of our college. Yes, this day we have inaugurated the Tyagaraja College Institution Innovation Council will be pleasantly remembered as a milestone by our successors. The inspiring presence of our respected secretary in today's program, despite his extremely busy schedule, is a reflection of not just how important the program is but his commitment towards transforming our college into a top-ranking academic institution. Thank you for your grace presence, sir. I extremely my heartily thanks to Dr. Ilangumaran sir, Director in charge, convener of IIC Alappa University, for his unstinted support and guidance to all of us at the TC IIC, and his presence amidst his crowd schedule. We are all inspired by your great words, sir. Thank you, Mr. I would like to thank Professor Nanaswamy and Madam Nanaswamy, President of Maxillary Foundation, who graced us with this thought-provoking address, the perfect platform for our college. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Madam. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Jaganmohan Sir, Honorable Secretary, Madurai Productivity Council, under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, for his gracious presence and for being affable always to us. Thank you, Mr. I extended my sincere thanks to our illustrious alumnus, Dr. Murli Srinivasan, Polymer Industrial Consultant, for his enormous support and gracious in the organization of this event. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. I thank, we fortunate to have Dr. Kalyana Sundaram, Tyagarajar College of Engineering, in our midst. Sir, we are very short span of time notice to the invite Kalyana Sundaram, sir, give a very good lecture related with innovation in our midst. Thank you very much, sir. I thank all the guests for sparing their time for their crucial works and for supporting us with this opinion on this occasion. Thank you all. My thanks are due to our respected leader, Principal, for this encouragement, timely suggestion, and consent towards the successful conduct of this breakthrough program. Thank you, sir. I express my sincere thanks to the media and technical person for giving excellent coverage of our program. Thanks all. I also wish to express my gratitude to Dr. Karthikeyan Microbiology for his valuable help and support at every point of time in the organization of this great event. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record my heart thanks to entire faculty members, student friends, Dr. Nivedita, Department of English and college technicians for their logistic support and cooperation in a great manner. Once again, and thank you all for your cordial presentation cooperation. Thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Huge thanks to all the well-wishers, dignitaries, guests making this event a grand success. With this, we conclude the ceremony. Looking forward to see you all in another milestone event of Tyagarajar College. Have a great noon. Let us raise for national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे